Once you complete that section, we will move on to subtracting integers. So let's try the subtracting integers. It's similar to adding, only this time subtracting moves towards the left. So let's try 8 minus 11. Again, I know you can do this problem without having to draw it on the number line, but because I want you to get familiar with using a number line for adding and subtracting integers, we're going to go ahead and do this one as well. So we have 8 minus 11, and I am going to move to positive 8 from 0. Always moving from 0, and I'll graph my point. So there's positive 8. Now I want to subtract 11. Remember, subtracting goes towards the left. So from where I ended up, which was 8, I'm going to subtract 11. And I end up at negative 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 8 minus 11 is negative 3. Let's try it with a negative integer. So we have a negative 2 minus a 3. So let's start by moving to negative 2, graph our point, and we want to subtract 3. Subtracting moves left, so I'm going to move left 3. 1, 2, 3. And I end up at negative 5. So negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5. So now we've come to the trickiest part, which is when you're subtracting negative numbers. I call them double negatives, and we don't like double negatives in English, and we don't like double negatives in math. It's easier if you just get rid of the double negatives by using the additive inverse rule. Additive inverse just means that you can add the opposite value. So when I look at 4 minus negative 5, I can change that into an adding and opposite. 4 plus, and what's the opposite of negative 5? It's on the other side of the number line. Here's negative 5. The opposite would be the positive value. 4 plus 5. Now I know you can add this in your head, but we're going to go ahead and do it on the number line for example. So I'm going to move a positive 4 and graph my point, and I'm adding, so I'm moving right 5, and we end up at 9. So 4 plus 5 is 9. Let's try it with another negative integer. This time we're going to start with negative 6, and here's that double negative, minus a negative 13. Let's use our additive inverse rule and make that an adding the opposite. So now let's use the number line and move towards negative 6 and graph our point. That's where we're at right now, at negative 6. And we're going to add 13, and adding moves towards the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We added 13 and we ended up at positive 7. So negative 6 minus negative 13 is the same as negative 6 plus 13, which equals 7. So we have 4 examples in the try it section. Go ahead and do the try it section. These are similar to the ones that we just did, so be sure to look back at your notes or the video and see if you can do those. And remember, this one and this one, you're going to do the additive inverse rule, so you're going to add the opposite and rewrite your expressions before you graph it on the number line. And then we have a final practice. This one has no number line. You can try it without the number line, using the patterns and imagining a number line in your head, or you can go ahead and draw your own number lines and try it on your own. So bring your try it sections and your extra practice to class, and we will go over it together. Have a good evening.